Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made these Toy Story invitations that have a bit of a pop-up to them. So let's get started. Hey everyone, so I'll have this template down in the description if you guys want to follow along. So I'm going to show you guys how I made the wording down here. So I'm going to start out by going to my shapes here, and then I'm going to grab this square or rectangle right here. And I'm gonna draw out a square, and I'm gonna go to the width, and for the width my square is gonna be, the width is gonna be 1.6, and then the height is gonna be 1.75. Oops, that's not right. The width is gonna be 1.6. There you go, like that. So let me zoom in and let me scoot this over here. And I'm going to have a square just like this. And we're going to make it black just for now, just so you could, oops, not the inside. I wanted to make just this line black. So now I'm going to go to where my line styles are, which is this little icon here on the right. So I'm going to go to style, and I'm going to go down here to this dash, these dashes, and I'm going to move the thickness up a bit to 1.25 so it looks something like this. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to duplicate it. So I have 3 of these boxes. Duplicate this again. Okay, so ideally I want to connect them and move them all like this. But as you can see, I don't like how it lines up over here. So what I'm going to do is, there's a quick fix for that. All I got to do is right click and go to flip horizontally, and I can match them up again. So I do the same for this one, or I don't have to do the same for this one, I guess it's already, there you go. So if they don't match up correctly, you can just kind of play with this, with the sides and stuff like that by flipping them horizontally or vertically. So now that I got how I wanted them, is I'm gonna do another little box. So I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate this since I already have. I'm gonna do a smaller box. This little box is gonna be 1.25 by 1.6. 1.6, I'm sorry, we're just gonna move the items. So we're gonna do 1.25 for the height. So this little box is gonna go over here. And you can create as many little boxes. You can do 2 boxes, you can do 4 boxes. As long as all of these, if I group all of them, and I'm gonna zoom out, as long as all of those fit inside, let me make this white so you guys can see it better. As long as they fit inside your invitation template. So now I have these little squares, and that's what I wanted. That's where my texts are gonna go. So now I can just group this, and there you go. Or I can ungroup it, and you can make it as small or big as you want by moving these little corners like that or like this. You can make it bigger, but I'm gonna leave it as it was, and I like it like this. So, and if you want to center this little box, all you have to do is select both of these, the lines and the template back here, and go up here and just move it to the center. It's already centered, but I can just align it that way. And now I'm going to group these dashes and this template together. So group. So now, oops, I didn't group it. I thought I did. Group. There you go. Now I grouped it. Okay, so now I am gonna fill this up with text, and I can go to my text now, and I can choose whatever font I want. we're gonna do Saturday 14th or November 14th. So actually I'm gonna do different fonts for these, so I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate this, and one of these is gonna say November, like that, and this is gonna be the 14th. Okay, so here's where I can go and I can play around with whatever font I want, but I think I already know what font I'm gonna pick for this. Now you can go through all your fonts and choose one that you like, but I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna choose, I think I like Sketch Block better for this one. And I'm gonna go ahead and make this red. Okay, so Saturday, oops, make this smaller and fit in here. Okay, Saturday, and then my November, I can make it a different font. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and make it the same Sketch Block font. I'm just gonna make it a different color, so I'm gonna make it maybe white. So make it smaller and put it in here like this. And now for the 14. I think I'm gonna go with this font here. I can stretch it out a little like this, and I'm gonna make this yellow. And you can go ahead and play around with the color scheme. You can make this blue, yellow, and then you can make this blue, and then this yellow and red, whatever colors you want. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. Now I feel like it's missing something here, and this is where I'm gonna get a little creative, and I'm gonna put some stars on this 14 so it looks a little more like the Toy Story theme. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my shapes, and now I'm using the business edition. I'm not sure if all of you have this. But I can't remember if the regular or if the other Silhouette software has it, but this business edition comes with a lot of shapes, and I am gonna make myself a star, and I think I just want the regular 6-point star. Oops, I want this this is not the star that I want. The 5-point star, that's what I meant. Okay, so I'm gonna shrink it a little, make it red, and I'm just gonna line them up here. And something as simple as this, just decorating this number 4 with stars. And that's one way to kind of decorate your invitation, adding a little bit more like that. Just get kind of creative. That's the cool thing about doing your own party decor. You can do whatever you want with it. So now I group it together, and there you go. That adds a little more of a touch to that. And here we're just gonna fill out our information. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a fake address. 123 Gary Drive. Gary Drive, Los Angeles, California. See, and I can just shrink this, and I can make this a white color. And I can change the font on this. You could choose any font you want for this. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it at this Arial rounded bold text right here. So I'm just gonna leave that, and I'm gonna duplicate this real quick, and I'm gonna put it down here. I'm just gonna, here's where my time is gonna go. So I'm just gonna do 3 p.m. to, I don't know, 6 p.m. And this could be a different color. Can make that red or blue. I think I'm gonna leave it as red. And as you can see, I left this square blank. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go to Google and I'm gonna type up Toy Story logo. And I'm just gonna find, I'm gonna copy this image and I'm gonna take it straight to my software here. And I'm able to do this with Business Edition only, because my understanding is you can't just copy and paste directly from the web to your software. I think you have to save it onto your computer and then drag and drop it onto this if you have a different edition. But with the Business Edition you can do that. So I'm gonna trace this. I'm going to trace this and then trace and detach to remove the background. There you go, and there you go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shrink this to fit in here, and there you go. Something like that. So now I'm gonna do the little kid's name up here in this style here, or this format. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna duplicate this and I'm gonna use it as a sample. So I'm gonna move this aside and put it right there, and I am gonna try to copy this as much as I can. Obviously it's not going to be the same exact thing, but I'm going to go to my shapes and I'm going to go with my little square here, and I am going to draw like a, I don't know, just a pretty big square, just whatever size, because I'm just going to be messing around with it anyway. So this is how I did it, guys. I just got my square out and I double clicked to get these little gray squares on the corner, and I just kind of messed around with it, and I was just eyeballing this to try to get it the same. So I kind of moved it around a little like this. So I think it goes something like this. So I think it's very similar to this. So now what I can do is I can go here and I can make it red. Oops. I can make this red. Or if I want it to be the same exact color as the logo, what I can do is I can grab my little color picker, and there you go. So it's not as bright red. It's more of this logo red. And for the letters, the one I found to be most similar to this Toy Story text was this this text right here. I'm going to show you guys right now. Oops. I'm going to go to my text, and then I'm going to go to, I think it was, let me see if I remember. So the text was Gil Sans I believe I didn't download this text. This text was already, I think, in my computer. But if you want to know the name of the text, it's Gill Sans, and I think you can use ultra bold. They have like different thicknesses, but I think this ultra bold one goes with it, or this ultra bold condensed. But I think I'm gonna go with this ultra bold. Or I think I like, not this one, but I think I'm gonna go with this one. This Gill Sans Ultra Bold Condensed. So I'm gonna type out the little kid's name. Oops. So that's the little boy's name, and what I'm gonna do is I am gonna make it yellow. I'm gonna stretch it out. I'm gonna make it as big as I can. Then I'm gonna go to my text, and I'm gonna go down here where it says character spacing, and I'm gonna give the characters a bit more space. That way. And guys, the reason I made these letters really huge for this part is because, let me show you, I'll show you in a bit why I did that, but I'm going to go to where the offset is, and I'm going to give this an offset, and I'm going to offset it until maybe something like this, something like that, okay? So I'm going to show you guys why I did that. I'm going to duplicate it, I'm going to make it small again, okay? If you guys are working with really small letters, so see how I made this little outline around, and look how nice, look how it looks, look how nice the letters are. Okay, if I work with a really small text, for some reason it's not gonna do the same look. It's gonna give me deformed little details here, little circles or little, so these are kind of like deformed because the letters are super small. So that's why I like to stretch out the letters. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that. That's why I like to stretch out the letters as big as I can. That way these come out nicer. These little holes that are for the R or the A are these. So that's why I like to work with big letters. Anyway, especially when I'm doing the offset. So now what I'm gonna do is I am gonna make this a different color. I can make this blue, or I can make it the same blue as this Toy Story. There you go. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to place this back on top. First, I am going to select all of this and make this the same color. Okay, so now I'm going to place this yellow thing back on top. And if you want, you can make this little outline bigger, which I think I'm going to do. But then what I don't like is that this kind of disappears. So let me see how big I can make it. Let's try 65. So you can mess around with the thickness if you want. I think this is fine, so I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this one, and I am gonna leave it at this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ungroup everything so that way, and now I can make this small again so it could fit up here. So now, and what I can do is I can make it a little bit taller like this, so it kind of looks similar to these text up here. So now I can mess around with the sizing and So next I want to make the letters look exactly like these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these look a little bit more crooked, just like the toy is on this. So I am gonna kind of grab a letter and kind of tilt it a little bit so it kind of looks, I can bring this to the front, just make them look kind of wacky like this. Like that. Kind of stick them all together because that's how they are over here. They're all stuck together. And you can mess with them however you want. The O, I'm going to try to make it a little more rounder. Like that. So it looks something like that. Okay, once you have like your lettering, once you have the letters the way you want them, you can go ahead and group them together. And now we're gonna do the part where it says turns instead of story. We're gonna write down turns. So Ricardo turns 3. So now I am gonna go back to my text and change the text to Gills Sands, like this. And for this one, I'm just going to change it to yellow. And there you go, Ricardo turns. And then I'm going to add the number here, which I can duplicate this, and then 3, just like that. And then I can do, for the number, I think I'm going to go with this one. And then I'm going to go ahead and offset. And for the number, I can kind of mess around with it, and there you go. And for the number, I am just going to do this yellow, and then this outer part blue. Like that. So something like that. Delete this. And I'll also be adding this little man to the clip art down there, and I'm just gonna put him right here. And there you go. I'm just gonna group all this together. Oops. And I'm gonna group everything together here, and then I can kind of just resize this to fit. So and there you go. That's my invitation. So for me, I'm not done yet. What I want to do is I wanted to make like a little bit of a pop-up going on here. So I'm gonna make this pop-up, the Woody character pop-up. So what I'm gonna do is I am not actually gonna print this on here. Instead, I'm gonna print this separately. So I found this Woody character on the internet, because as you can see, I couldn't edit Woody out of this because this fork was in the way, so his shoe was gonna look weird. So what I did was I found this Woody on the internet, which I'll also include inside the clip art. So I'll be including inside the in the description, I'll be including this template. I'll be including this Woody here if you need him, if you want to do like a pop-up detail, and this little jumping man. So this you're gonna have to do by yourself. and the letters down here. But other than that, you can do this Woody. You can put, so what I did was I put this Woody over here, and obviously I made sure he was the same size as this Woody, and I just resized him using this little corner thing. I just kind of made sure he was the same size. So I'm gonna put him on top of here. I'm gonna make sure he's not blocking my letters. I'm gonna make sure he's not blocking my letters. So what I could do is I can make my letters kind of smaller so he fits, so it fits here. This is perfect, just like this. So there you go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna print. I can go ahead and print this invitation just like this, and I can fit like about 2 of these to a page. Gotta make sure everything is grouped. So when I move it around, okay. So now what I can do is I can go to my page here and go to letter and make sure it's flipped this way, and I can fit about 2 of these to a page like this. So both of these 5x7s fit like this. Okay, so I can print these out, and then I can go back and I can print these on my cut these on my silhouette cameo. So this is how I'm going to do it. I want to make sure he has a cut line around him. And there you go, there's his little cut line. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate him. So I'm going to go ahead and print and cut these out. Oops. Now I can also print and cut this one out, but I gotta make sure I'm just gonna do trace outer edge. And there you go. And now I get to duplicate, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to print and cut all of this out. And I'll show you in the next clip how I finish these invitations off. So as you guys can see, I've cut out all my pieces on my silhouette cameo, and now I'm just using this dimensional tape that I bought from the 99-cent store, and I'm just taping it on there. And they've already come pre-cut, but I like to cut them a little bit more so they fit inside these little cutouts, and then I just tape them on there and they look like they're kind of popping up, and it just gives the invitation a little bit more of detail on there. So I really like working with these little pop-ups. And after I finished all of them, I just like to put these in these little cellophane baggies that are the right size for these invitations, which is like 5 by 7, and I got them off of Amazon. I'll link them down below so you guys can see them. They're very cheap. They come out to about, I think it was like 2 or 3 cents each, so they're way cheaper than envelopes, and I think, in my opinion, they're better because you can actually see the invitation. So I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. If you're planning a Toy Story theme, please don't forget to give me a like, share this video, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Please follow me on Instagram at Creative Goods, and I'll see you guys in the next video.